You're listening to the Dave and Beck Show.
Bek and Dave.
You're making this difficult. I'm Dave.
And I'm Beck.
Hey, Beck.
Hi, David.
Today's a good day.
Is it?
Because I brought goodies. I
didn't notice.
brought some
weird.
Cheetos.
So
Crunchy.
Are you hungry? Is that what you
I
are
brought
going to do with
some
that?
whole milk.
Does it not disgust you that came out of an udder? I mean, think about it.
Doesn't bother me at all. I'm not the one who's going to be eating it or drinking
but
it.
like, you could have got me almond milk.
And I brought you a little cup so you can pour the milk. We could little dipsies.
If you just say it as a cute name, it doesn't make this any better.
You're going to find out.
Can I have another shot at redemption?
Nope. You're going to find out that today you've just found a new food that you like.
Really?
Well, a combination of food.
You know, I actually heard that this is opposite day, and opposite day means that you try that instead.
I hate to break it to you, but opposite day stops once you leave middle school.
That's not the case if you're homeschooled. Stays forever. Are you really going to make me try that?
Oh, yeah. I brought them.
Okay.
I didn't bring them just for...
Do I just have one bite?
No. It was Cheetos. There'll be multiple.
Okay, I'm a woman of my word. Get it set up. I don't need it sitting here mocking me the whole episode.
We'll get to it.
Wait, we're not doing it right now?
No, we'll do it in a little bit.
It just has to sit here taunting me?
Just for a little, just for a little bit. Let me just turn so you can see the cow. I want you to see the cow.
Honestly, David, why did you not give me almond milk? I want to drink the milk that is extracted from the almond. The little almond udders. I don't want to drink this from a cow udder.
The thing that you had wasn't almond milk and Cheetos. It was milk and Cheetos. Otherwise, I would have done almond milk, but it wasn't almond milk. So.
Oh yeah, you're trying to follow the rules.
Right. I'm just trying to have you try the thing that this person, whoever it is out there, said this is a delicious snack.
Borden. Lizzie Borden had an axe. Isn't that like a nursery rhyme? Anyway, I guess a nursery rhyme probably, isn't it, if she has an axe? Regardless. Okay.
I guess it depends on what family you grew up with.
The Addams Family. Are you going to do anything exciting this weekend?
This weekend? Nope. Oh. I'm preparing for vacation, but nothing special.
Oh, right. He's leaving us for 2 weeks.
I know. I
don't know what we're going to do without you. Party. Well, last weekend, I had a great relaxing weekend. This weekend, I'm not sure what I'm doing. It's Father's Day weekend, so I'll do something with my dad. But last weekend, Deb and I went away. Do you ever just go away for the weekend at a hotel? Like, no plans, but you want to get away, so you just book a hotel and you drive somewhere and go there.
We did that once. We went up to Cincinnati. We were going to get a hotel. I got the hotel, and then we were going to, hang out, eat, just get away.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half drive. It's not far.
Right.
And then after we ate and we hung out briefly, I was like, if we leave now, we get home.
You're kidding.
So I canceled the hotel.
Why would you do that?
Which they were going to charge me, but they let me off the hook because I told them someone passed away. No, I didn't tell them that. But I used points on my card, so it didn't.
Oh.
But they were gonna actually charge me a fee for canceling. I'm like, then what do I just need to do? Show up and just be like, okay, I'm here, and then you're gonna charge me? That's stupid. So they didn't charge me ultimately, but we went home.
Why?
And then Holly was like, I'm never doing overnight trips with you ever again.
Well, yeah, because you didn't take one. So you were like, okay, let's get away. This is gonna be so fun. And then you were like, you know what? Nah.
Yeah,
literally, who does that?
We got some food. I think we did something. We maybe went to.
Do you not like staying at hotels? Because
no, I don't mind.
Love staying at hotels.
I don't mind. It's just I got a little.
You got homesick after. I've been away from the house for 6 hours.
Colin actually, I can't remember what happened, but Colin got sick or something too. I can't remember, but that also kind of pushed me to want to just go home.
That is the saddest story that I've ever heard.
So we went out. We did that one time.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Did totally the same thing. No, Deb and I, we found this hotel that we really like as soon as you enter Indiana. So it's a little over an hour away from my house. So it's just far enough where if someone had an emergency, they wouldn't call us. They'd have to reach out to someone else. But it's not so far away that you're staying in the car for forever. But what I was wondering about is Deb and I love a cold hotel room. So I want to know, like, what temperature, like, when we get in, one of us knows right away someone has to go to the thermostat, and we just, like, crank that baby down.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because, like, I don't have to pay for it. So I just want it, like, as cold as possible. We bring sweaters and sweatpants, like, and we bundle up.
How low do you get it? How low does it let you go?
50.
Oh, wow, it lets you go that low?
Yeah.
So you're just like, so really, I think what I'm hearing here is you miss Minnesota. You're like, we can't get to Minnesota. It's too far. I need it to be cold, but I don't want to pay the air conditioning. Let's go to a hotel. Let's knock this baby down as far as it'll let me go.
I mean, what temperature do you set yours at?
Usually when we get there, depends. If we're like in Florida, oh my God, you did do 50.
I did.
Yeah, if we're in Florida, we'll do like, we'll try to do like 66 or something. But a lot of times, like Disney and stuff, they'll put
like
these
cap
limits on it.
Right.
So you have to call them and tell them to remove it, and they'll do it.
That's so lame. No, we just go free range. Like,
wow.
Yeah, we just
50.
crank it down.
So you're like, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Let's bundle up.
We do.
I miss winter.
We, like, cover up. Like, we're sleeping in hoodies and stuff, and it's just, I mean, but studies show that you sleep better when you're cold.
Studies show.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think, true. I know I sleep
Why
better
do
when
you?
it's cold.
Why did you say that's
'Cause everyone
actually
says-
true?
Because everyone goes, studies show. Studies. Everyone uses
Well, they
that
do.
word like as if.
And
there's-
really, it's like a TikTok that they saw.
Well, there's right, or like they're not like real study. It's like barely experimental.
Yeah, but coming from your best friend, whatever I say, you should just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, so we crank it on down, and we just stay in the room the whole day. We went for two nights. We didn't leave the hotel room. We just ordered food in. You go down for a free breakfast, and then we ended up watching this new documentary. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Shiny Happy People. It's either that or Happy Shiny People. I might be
Shining happy people or happy shining people.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of them, the people are happy and they're shiny. The other one, they're just shining happy.
I think
Which one do you think
I
it
think
is?
it's Happy Shiny People.
Oh, really?
I do.
You don't think it's shining happy?
No, I really don't know. It's one or the other. Anyway.
I think it's shining happy. That's my guess.
Now, are you adding a G, like a hard G? Because it's shiny.
Oh, shiny, not
Yeah.
shining.
Yeah, it's either happy shiny people or shiny happy
Let's
people.
look it up.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
It's
How long does it take you to move your fingers?
It's happy shiny people.
Happy shiny people?
Yeah. Is that the Dugar family?
The Duggars.
Oh, Duggar.
Yeah. Duggar. Honestly, that sounds like more fancy and sophisticated.
In certain
We
countries,
are the
it's
Duggars.
Dugar.
We are the
Dugar.
Duggars.
We have Dugar.
We have a reservation for the Duggars.
3, please, for the Dugars.
Is that your French accent?
Is that Duggar? 3. Duggar, your table's ready. It's Dugar. It's Dugar.
No, anyway, so it is about them, and it's about the religion kind of that they had followed, and
They
so
have a lot of kids.
19. Did you ever see the TLC show 19 Kids and Counting?
No.
That was their show.
They had 19 kids.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Did he tell her that this was going to happen? I think there needs to be like a disclaimer or something, a little warning.
Like a contract.
Like you
I'm
realize.
expecting 25 babies.
That's weird.
A couple of them were twins.
Do they even let her out of bed?
The girl just always be
She
knocked
just
up.
bedbound for like the last 20 years.
And how exhausting that must be to have that many kids just running around constantly.
Exhausting. How do you afford? Well, I know how you afford their college. You started a reality TV show about having 19 kids.
Yeah, and counting.
What happens if they never had the TV show?
I don't know.
What was he doing for a
Join the
living?
circus. I can't remember. I think he had different odds and end jobs, and it talked a little bit about that in the documentary. Like, I can't remember, something with cars. I think he had a car salesman lot or something like that.
He owned a car
and
lot?
then he did a couple other things too to afford all of that. And then the TV show obviously helped a lot. But I don't think I've ever told you about the time that my family almost joined a cult.
No.
Okay, so all of this is going to be connected, right? So I wanted to watch this documentary, number one, because the Duggar family fascinates me.
Is it the same cult?
Yes. Okay, so they're a member of this thing called the IBLP. It's like a religion-ish thing. So it's Christianity, but this guy named Bill Gothard started this IBLP, which stands for Institution of Basic Life Principles.
Okay.
So there was this man, and he created all these like workbooks and whatnot, and he followed the Bible, but then he also had like his own teachings, and people became obsessed with him. Whatever he said, they like followed to a T.
Right.
And a lot of it was a Christian like homeschoolers.
Okay.
That went and they joined this. And then he also had different like institutions where kids then would be sent there, which it turns out, I mean, the documentary is fascinating. It's kind of like, it was like work camps for kids.
What do you mean? Like they made them make shoes?
Yeah, they made them do all these different kind of projects, like build all these houses and whatnot, and build stuff for the church that they had.
So they had like a bunch of 5-year-olds with hammers and nails running around?
Well, honestly, the Duggar family, they had a lot of footage of like kids like doing stuff with hammers and like all these different things. And then he had all these, basically Bill Gothard's views on things were just like women suck and men are above everybody. And he had this whole like umbrella method, and it was like the dads
Man's
are the
top.
Yeah, for sure, you know.
And then where's
your
the wife
daughters
show up?
are underneath too until they get married.
Oh.
Yeah, and you don't date. Like you
How do you get married? It's all arranged?
No. You court, David.
How do you court?
Okay, that's the thing. So, well, let me just back up.
Okay.
So my family, obviously we were homeschooled and whatnot, and we kind of got involved with different families. Well, this one family friend that we knew, they followed Bill Gothard, and they were like, come on to these classes with us. I forget how long we attended, maybe like 6 months or a year. I don't remember. I just remember it probably was more 6 months. I remembered I was like 13 or 14 at the time. I hated it because, first of all, teenage Becca.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like to be told. I didn't like to be told what to do.
Yeah.
I didn't like to be told what to wear. Like, girls had to wear skirts. Like, you have to. It's very immodest, and you don't want to cause boys to stumble. Like, there was a whole class, like, they would take us girls to the side and be like, you can't wear this, you can't wear this. You'd have, like, these worksheets that you'd have to circle what was, like, immodest that would make boys stumble.
Stumble, like make them aroused?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Don't arouse the boys.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like the no boner rules. But they didn't call it that.
Right.
Anyway, so...
It wouldn't catch on as well.
Probably not.
These are the no boner rules. Welcome to the cult.
I don't know how they get any men to join.
Yeah, or really anyone. Like
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, my parents made me wear skirts every time we went because they also, my mom, I remember her being like, I know, Becca, you don't really like it, but like, do you really want to stick out like a sore thumb? And meanwhile, I was like, yeah, I'm trying to be like an actress. I'm different from everybody.
Right. Yeah, you're trying to make a name for yourself.
Yeah. I remember sitting in the room like, I'm going to be so famous one day.
Yeah, these...
You guys, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I would wear a skirt, and it did go a little bit below my knees because they have to be very long. Like people like the Duggars and these kinds of families, like they can't wear bathing suits or anything. Like you are swimming in dresses.
I guess you can't wear makeup.
Not really. It's called modesty wear.
Okay.
So my family never went that far. Anyway, one time I was wearing a skirt, one of these Wednesday night classes is what we called them, and I had a shirt on that it showed a little bit of my shoulders.
Whoa.
Yeah. So my mom was pulled aside by another mom, and they were like, did Brent, my dad, let Becca leave the house like that? And then she was like, you see all these boys here? She can make all of them stumble. Like, she needs to get covered up.
I saw like 3 stumble this morning.
I was a teenager. I was a young one, and I could hear her saying the whole thing, and people in the room could all hear it too. So I remember getting really embarrassed at
They're
first.
all looking at you like, slut.
Pretty much. That's
Look
what
at the
I felt
shoulders
like.
on that one.
I was just like slut shamed and all, and I was 14, and it was like, it's not like it was a low cut thing. All it did was show my shoulders.
Oh yeah, that's stumbling.
So then I went in the bathroom, and I remember like fluffing up my hair and putting on lipstick
really?
and stuff because I was like, fine, if I'm a floozy, I'm a floozy.
Really?
Yeah, and I
And then you
walked
came back out?
Yeah.
What happened then?
Nothing. I mean,
There was
just,
no
just
stumbling?
like looks and.
Just didn't work out for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I walked past and I was like, oh, someone's excited to see me.
You stumbling boys.
If I could go back in time, I wish I would have done that, and I would have started to just go and talk to all the men. Anyway, so it was just like, it was very intense. Luckily, my parents, after a while, I remember.
Hold on. What was the woman that said that? What was her husband's name?
Her husband's name? I don't want to say it.
Why?
Okay, his name is Roger.
Okay, so you know what you should have done? You should have ran up to
To Roger?
Roger's wife and say, what was her name?
You're putting me in a bad spot.
Why? What was her name?
Because
They
their
don't know
kids
last
now,
names.
their kids now are now normal, and they might. Okay, her name was no.
No one
I can't.
knows last names.
It's true.
What's her first name?
Connie.
Connie. Okay. You should have ran up to Connie and said, Connie, Roger's stumbling all over me. What do I do?
Oh my
What do I
God.
do if Roger's stumbling? What do you...
No, and so luckily in one of the meetings, I remember because we would have to watch this guy on a screen, and I remember I thought he had funky looking lips. So in the workbook that I had to follow along, I just kept drawing his lips, and I was like, ew, ew, ew.
Oh, that's mean. You need to apologize right now.
No way, this guy is the worst.
What was his name?
Bill Gothard.
Oh, that was Bill Gothard.
Yeah, because we would watch his stuff on the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and
That's
now
okay.
he has all these allegations against him, like he did terrible things to girls.
He made them stumble? That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, truly the worst. Well, what kind of also came out of this, which is one of the reasons, too, I think that I find dating, like I've had such a weird path with dating. It's because when I grew up, I don't think I've ever told you this either, we had to read a book called I Kissed Dating Goodbye.
Oh, really? This is part of the cult?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, kind of, it was kind of attached to it. I don't think the author of the book, who has now come out and said, I don't want my book published anymore. I think it did a lot of damage, like more damage than good. And it's all about how you shouldn't date. You should only court, which is just like, you know, talking and meeting with the intent to marry, and how terrible dating is. And how it just puts you in a situation.
You ever notice how all these like cult leaders, they always end up with the allegations of doing something wrong to girls?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think this man too was so power hungry, and everything was just like, really what was hammered into you was women, like your role was to get married very young and start cranking out babies.
It's like a perversion. It's like the cult leaders are like the biggest perverts, and no one realizes it.
Right.
Well, I mean, except for inside the cult, no one realizes it.
Well, and what was weird about this guy too, he all he preached was like, you have to have a quiver full, which is like a Bible verse and talks about having a lot of kids. Oh. And he never got married. And he never had any kids.
Really?
Yeah, but he preached out to everyone like birth control, all this kind of stuff, terrible.
Right.
You have to have
just populate the earth.
Just keep having the kids.
Yeah, pop them out.
Yeah. Well, and I think I kind of went through this weird identity crisis because like so much of this stuff was kind of taught to me. My parents were not that extreme, but we did read the book and whatnot. And so it was like, I then, when I started aging out of my 20s, was like, I have failed because I didn't get married and start having kids. But I never really wanted that. But still, like, the idea of courting, it was like dating was wrong. And it's so hard to change what's, like, indoctrinated into your brain or whatever, you know? Yeah. And, but courting, like, nobody does that. So, like, if someone came and asked me for my number and they were like, hey, do you want to go on a date? And how would I respond? I remember asking my parents, like, what do I say? Like, well, do you want to court me? And
what
to potentially marry me instead? Yeah,
like, are you saying you want to marry me?
Right. The next guy that asks me for my number, I should say that.
Well, the ones who say, do you want to get tacos and F? You should like, will you marry me first?
Right. I would love to do that, but first, can you put a ring on it?
Yeah, right.
Like, pretty please.
Step one.
Ring. Get married. Step 2. Yeah.
Everything else.
Right. Because I think the problem is so many people, like, did you ever hear about courting?
No.
Because we were just,
when I think of courting, I think of like medieval, like I'm going to court her as a way of like romanticizing her. Like I'm going to make her like me, and then we're going to go out, which is really just dating.
Right.
It's just it's kind of like.
But you can't use the D word.
But his courting is more bad. Like it's like supposed to be real dry. Yeah. Like, hey, you want to get hitched? Yeah, okay, let's do it. And then you get married, and then you have 19 kids.
Right. You were kind of taught, like, they're supposed to go ask your dad permission, like, hey, I have interest in Becca. Could I court her?
Like, what do you, like, do all the women get together, and they're, like, in a circle, like, so, how did John court you? Oh, you wouldn't believe it. He came up to me with this suit on, and he said, do you want to get married? That's what my husband did. I mean, is that how it works?
No, so they ask parents.
Oh, the parents first.
Yeah, and then they'll ask the daughter, like, "Hey, I talked to your parents."
But the daughter doesn't know it's coming.
No, not really.
Right? Yeah, talk to your parents. Dad says, "I'd be pretty good as your husband."
Yeah. You want to hang out?
You want to hang out?
And most of the time too, you'd have to go when you go on a date. You had to have a chaperone, like someone had to go and watch you, like a sibling or something.
Even if you're like adults. Yeah. Like 30 years old, your mom's in the back seat. Don't you touch.
6, you could only do the side hugs. Like, you can't, like, full-on hug. That's, like, a big scandal. Yeah.
Oh, a full-on hug. Little embrace. Not good.
Right. Yeah, don't push your boobs against his chest, you know.
Is that how they treated...
That caused him how to stumble.
Is that how they treated sex, too? Like, it was only for procreation?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it
Like
kind of.
it can't be for any other reason.
Yeah, it's not like women's pleasure.
So really,
for sure.
what is it? Josh Duggar?
Duggar, yeah, Josh Duggar.
Duggar.
Yeah.
So really, Josh had sex 19 times.
No, Josh was the son who has the scandal against him. Jim Bob is the dad.
Oh.
Yeah,
Who's,
Jim Bob's
well,
the
who
dad.
the hell's Josh?
Josh is their oldest son who has done terrible things.
So Jim Bob's the dad.
Yeah.
Jim Bob. Is that what you do when you're not sure which way to go? Jim Bob?
Yeah, Jim Bob. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar. Yeah, 19 kids.
Oh, so Josh was the one who did something bad.
Yeah, he had all those allegations.
I think I saw he went to jail, didn't he?
Yeah, he's in jail. He had like child porn and stuff. Like, it was terrible. Did stuff to his sisters too.
Well, did he have his own show too?
He was on the show, but no.
Oh, okay.
And then they gave the sisters a spin-off show, but then there was just more allegations and whatnot, so they cut down the whole thing.
Okay, go ahead.
But one of the Duggars is in this documentary, and it was just fascinating. And it was funny because Deb, who is, she's my sister, but she's like 8 years younger. So obviously some of our memories are just different from growing up. Like, she attended some of those Wednesday night classes too, but she was like a kid. And I just remember I was like telling her things about Bill Gothard or whatever. And I was like, I hated his umbrella thing. And then it would bring it up in the documentary. And it was like all these just memories that I feel like I kind of like repressed or whatever.
You escaped.
I guess.
So
my parents did wise up.
What made your parents leave?
My dad, one meeting, Bill Gothard said something, and he said, "That's hogwash." And my mom, I said, "What, Dad?" And then he goes, "That's hogwash," like really loudly. And everyone like looked over at our table, and that was the last meeting we ever went to.
They're like, oh, "You're no longer invited."
Well, my dad was like, and I think both my parents. I mean, they were kind of like, "Yeah, a lot of this stuff is a bit extreme."
It's good. That's good though.
I mean, they still taught us like the dating thing and trying to court and stuff instead. But like, if you're not in that community where other people are doing it, how do you teach that to someone too? So I think the older I got, like I felt like I dealt with, I feel like, a lot of just weird feelings when I first started dating, and a lot of times I did it in private because
do you know what
secret.
I think drives these people though? I could be wrong, but I think there's like this level of fear, like something's going to happen to their kids or to their family or whatever, and they feel like that if they are part of something that systemically teaches kids to not do things that can get them in trouble or to not get pregnant before they should, kind of thing, or all these things, like it's like this safety blanket, and they and that's why they join, like this feeling of feeling safe, like they're and belonging.
And it was also just like we're protecting our kids from all this terrible thing that's out in the world, when really you're just creating all these like naive adults that don't understand things.
Exactly. And then when they finally do go out to the real world, they start to realize these things that they grew up with maybe weren't really the way it was.
I mean, my first actual date, David, I walked away, like I remember driving home that night and just feeling like ashamed, like I did something terribly wrong, when all I did was I had dinner with a man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You felt really just awkward.
I mean, because
like,
that's what
this doesn't feel right. He should have courted
he
me.
didn't even ask my dad.
Yeah, he didn't go to my dad.
My parents don't even know I'm here now.
Did you say it in the first date? You're like, before we start, did you talk to my dad? I sent you his phone number.
I mean, just like
what? I just met you on Tinder. I thought we were gonna get tacos and F tonight.
I mean, my upbringing was just very different. Like, I mean, we were very into the purity culture. I had a purity ring. I don't know if I ever told you that too.
Is that because of the those brothers that did purity rings?
Oh, the Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers.
No, but we did ours before they got big.
Oh,
and
so you started the trend.
And well, honestly, I remember thinking like, oh my God, I finally feel normal-ish because a celebrity was doing something.
Do you know what I thought when I heard that?
What?
I thought, those are fucking idiots. Like, they're in their prime. I don't remember how old they were. But
they were teenagers, David.
Whatever. They're going to get so much ass. And they just put these damn purity rings on. They're screwing themselves. And what happened? Later they said they regretted it.
Yeah.
Because they missed out on a lot of ass. Backstreet Boys didn't put on any purity rings.
No, Nick Carter for sure did
Nick
that.
Carter found that out, right? Like, yeah, he's in trouble.
Well, I just remember, it was like then a group of Disney stars all kind of started doing that. Just like, I don't know how it just became so big and booming all of a sudden. But yeah, when we were 13, we read the book, I Kissed Dating Goodbye. And I remember not really understanding what I was agreeing to. I was just being told, like, if you agree to this, you get this shiny ring. And I was like, well, hell yeah, I want a ring, And then later I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's good that your parents realized.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, we
did. You know what I mean?
And you know what? It was so disappointing. There was no actual Kool-Aid. You know, I was promised that
You wanna-
cults had Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you don't want the
And
Kool-Aid.
yeah, no, I wanted some of it. Like, there's no even
There's a
refreshing
meteor
drink
falling
here.
in 3 years. We're all drinking Kool-Aid. Yeah, you don't want to be part of that.
Yeah, no, my parents, yeah, they were like, you know what, this
Wow,
is
so you
a
were
bit
kind
extreme.
of part of a cult for a short while.
I was.
It explains so much.
Rude, but I do think it has played a part in my weird relationship.
So when you have
issues.
kids, homeschool or no homeschool?
Me, I wouldn't have the patience. I respect everyone who wants to make that decision. My own sister, she's gonna be great at it. Me, no. I can't do that. Also, I just feel like I want my days to be filled with a lot of other things. And
Yeah, I mean,
sitting
always
and
run
like
your
teaching
kids.
my kids constantly, it wouldn't be for me.
Yeah, I like worked from home like last week and I'll tell you, I was ready to come back to work. I was.
Like, please,
I mean,
get
don't
me
get
out
me
of
wrong.
here.
I love my kids. And it was great, but
Yeah.
they just wear you out. They wear you out.
Right.
You know.
And you wouldn't ever get a break. So yeah, no, not
Well,
for me.
I think it's time to.
You know, I just told you like this kind of traumatic story about myself, and I feel like maybe we shouldn't ever have to do this
you
because
ever
I've already been through so much.
If you ever start your own cult, this should be like initiation. Like it's called the Milk and Cheeto cult.
That's
The
disgusting.
M&C cult. M&C.
M&C.
That sounds kind of cool, actually.
Actually, it kind of does.
Yeah, the M&C cult.
How can we
And people are
copyright
gonna
that
be
really
like,
quick?
wow, M&C. I'm gonna pour the milk in the. Oh, look at that, delicious,
Ew.
thick,
Don't say thick, David.
delicious. Look at that. Is that beautiful?
Why did you pour so much?
Oh man, this is not. Or it says from cows, not treated with RBST. What
Oh
does that
shoot, I have to have RBST. I guess I can't drink this,
mean?
David.
What is RBST? Is that like a? Is that some sort of a
RBST.
antibiotic?
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Resting bitch. I don't know.
Resting bitch syndrome, something.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'll be honest. I'm a big Cheetos guy. You can probably tell by the physique. But
Nothing Dave loves more than crunchy cheese.
now let me ask you: do you want to dip, or should I just toss them in, and you just pluck them out?
Ew.
Or you got a spoon?
I don't want to get cheesy fingers.
Cheesy fingers is like the best part
No,
of
it's
Cheetos.
not. Cheesy fingers are the worst part of Cheetos.
Oh my god.
Ew. Okay, fine. Just pour some in. Just pour some in. I pay
I
my
don't want
debts.
it to like. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ew.
Should you take a picture?
That is
Take a picture.
disgusting. Why do I have to take it? Okay.
Because you're the one who has like the Instagram and stuff.
That is
And
so...
I got some Cheetos for later. But you can have the milk.
Thank you.
All right. So remember you have to say meow after each Cheeto. And I wanted a real meow. I don't want some bullshit meow. I want like meow.
You know what? When the next time we do a contest, you are going to pay for this.
I would
Because
have
you're
to
going to lose. You will lose.
Now, be honest. When you eat this,
Right. It's
Cheetos
already,
cereal.
it's turning the milk yellow.
orange. It should be orange.
No, it's turning it yellow.
It's a little yellow.
It's like piss
Well,
yellow.
if you don't eat it quick enough, you're gonna lose the cheese in the milk,
I d-
and that might be a big no-no. I don't know. We have to get the hold of the
Do I have to meow first or later?
No, you eat it and then you meow. Actually, it'd be better if you meow with it in your mouth, so it sounds like you're gurgling on milk.
Ew, don't say gurgle. Okay. Stop looking so satisfied. You're the worst. Meow. Oh my god.
Is it saggy?
Oh my god.
How good is it?
Why would anyone like this combination?
I don't know, but finish. Don't waste.
How many bites do I have to take?
Just finish it.
All of these Cheetos?
There's not that much in there.
I'll take one more bite.
All right, one more bite. Two more bites.
Meow.
You said meow too early.
Meow.
That is.
Okay, my debt's paid. You have to try that.
I don't want to try it. That looks gross.
The milk,
Jesus.
first of all, I don't remember cow's milk tasting like that. But the milk and the cheese?
How is it? What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10? Be honest. Don't lie.
-1.
No, I said 1 to 10.
0.
You can't 1 to 10, Becky.
1.
You're not good. All right, 1.
That was I've had
What's
no,
that?
I've had worse in my mouth, but
What's that floating in there?
oh my god, what is that black thing floating?
I don't know. If it's a bug, that's okay.
Ugh,
Probably added the flavor.
that is disgusting. You should dip one in just to see.
No, there's something floating in there.
Whoever liked that and put that on there is a fucking psychopath. That was nasty. It's like stuck in my mouth. I don't want to swallow it anymore.
It gets stuck on your teeth too, like like the Cheetos do.
Yeah, I'm experiencing that.
So what'd you think? Honestly, 1?
This kitty
Just a
gives
1.
it a 1.
All right,
Meow.
there you go. That's the meow I want. Let me see one more bite.
That was disgusting.
All right, so I figured I was thinking about that Apple tech.
Oh, right, because didn't Apple have like their convention or
Right.
something where they announce different stuff that
like
they do?
they said they got like new laptops or whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
No
A
one-
lot of people actually.
The only thing good about an Apple, well, there's nothing good about an Apple laptop really.
Oh.
They're impossible. They drive you freaking nuts. The screen, the windows open, but then they don't open. When you click and open an application,
These
if you don't
things-
close that application, apparently you have to go to the bottom of the screen to click it, or you can't open it again just through the application.
This is a user error always.
No, this is stupid. Like, why do they do that? They don't have to make it just like Windows, but they don't have to make it like annoying.
How do you really feel about it,
So,
David?
Macs, in terms of terrible inventions, I feel like the Mac's up there.
You are being so dramatic. Macs are not that bad.
No,
You know what is bad? I keep
Yeah.
having this flavor in my mouth.
how is it? Is it the cheese or the milk, or is it this?
I think it's just like a weird combination.
I have a feeling you're gonna ask for the milk and Cheetos when we get off. I think you're tricking me.
No.
So I thought, what other stupid inventions are out there? Like
Oh,
the Mac.
sure.
There's other ones. There's other ones.
Yeah. Do you ever watch Shark Tank too? And then some people, when they pitch an idea, you're like,
Yes.
that is so.
Or
fucking stupid.
I'm like, it's sweet of an idea, like,
Yeah.
but like it's never gonna sell.
Yeah.
And it's always involves like the kids, like, oh, my 6-year-old came up with this plan. No, you did. You brought your 6-year-old in here to try to pull the
Yeah.
heartstrings.
Yeah, they're like, how can I make this story more where you
Yeah,
want
right,
to do
yeah.
something with
Come
me?
on, don't look at my
One
poor
time I was
kid.
helping a grandma across the street,
Right.
and when she was falling, her last words were, I wish I had a toilet that cleaned itself.
Yeah, right. And then they break out in tears. And I gave up my job, and I haven't eaten anything except Cheetos and milk for 3 weeks. And that's
My
what
breath is
inspired me
nasty.
to make this toilet seat. and then they're like, oh, I understand. You know, I lost my grandma to Cheetos and milk.
And then they're like, but still, I'm out.
Yeah, but still I'm out, right?
Yeah.
Because they know that's in the
Right.
end, it's their money.
You know what I would love to do, though, is be on a Shark Tank one time as the shark and then be able to just say, and for that, I'm out.
You know what I would like to do? After I pitch my shitty idea, they always say like, so how much in sales do you have? I would go, -3. -3. They'll say, how do you have negative?
You're like,
How do you
"But-
get negative?
But my card reader told me that I was going to be successful at this, so that's like foolproof.
Yeah, but like, how do you go negative? You can't go negative. Because even if you sold one and it was returned, that just brings you back to 0. Anyway,
It's
yeah.
true.
I know, I'm silly. All right.
There's something about a grown man so silly.
I know, it's a turn on, right?
Right? You're causing me to stumble right now, David.
Yeah. Stumbling. All right. So I found an invention that's almost as bad as the Mac. Almost as bad. And you'll have to
Thanks
post
for your
this.
Mac, Deb. Okay.
You'll have to post, like, I'll just do a little,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
just a little image there.
Yep.
Okay.
What the hell
Those
is-
are
that looks like a
cones.
cult.
Those are cones on their faces.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This was invented in 1939 in Montreal. When
That's
the
not that long ago.
when the-
1939. I was thinking that was like way further back.
Well, it's probably because the image just.
Oh,
isn't-
yeah.
But there's these cones. They're like plastic cones, and then on their faces. And the idea was when temperatures dip below -4, they had terrible storms and whatnot. These plastic cones were masks to help protect them from the blizzards. So invented in 1939 in Montreal, where temperatures can dip below 4 degrees Fahrenheit, and the worst storm on record, it says, more than 18 inches of snow, they created these plastic cones to protect from blizzards. Okay, and like I said,
Sign me up.
Yeah, as you can see, this is a clear fashion statement.
What if you run into somebody? That's very pointy.
It's pretty pointy. I don't get it, but maybe they worked.
And it looks like it only covers the one half, like, or does it go all the way around their face? Yeah, or is that open? Does it go all the way around?
It goes all the way around.
Oh, okay.
I thought it's a little open on this woman's chin.
Yeah.
So maybe like it can do the whole face, or maybe you can get the one that just does.
I guess when it is snowing and you're kind of walking through it, you have to kind of like squint, and that would be nice. It would just like your eyes could just be open
like,
the whole time. Like
snow not hitting me.
Yeah, no problem.
Warmth on my face coming from my mouth. Right? Because you're self-warming.
Ew.
I noticed that
My recycled air.
When COVID hit, we had the masks.
Yeah.
Like I would want to put mine on in winter because I
Right.
was like, my face is warm. So I get it, but didn't work out. Can you guess why?
No, I see no issues with this.
Very fashionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Can you imagine if you were running, like you had one of those on, you were running, you fell?
Yeah.
Just like.
That would not be a good sign.
What's so funny to me is that someone invented it and people actually tried it out.
Yeah, I don't know how many they
like
sold.
Like a big cone on your face.
It didn't sell well though. But there you go, cone face. Who wants to be a human snow cone?
You know what? If I had a time machine, I want to go back in time to when that was first came out and then give it a go.
Oh,
you know, why not?
You want to talk about time machine?
Yeah. Oh.
Next invention.
Oh, what is it?
Next we'll do it next
right.
episode.
Oh, so this is just going to be a weird inventions
Just
of Dave.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
now let's rank this in terms
Okay.
of inventions, okay, from 1 to 10.
Right.
Okay. The snow cone face.
Snow cone.
I don't know what it was called. I don't remember what it was
like
called.
snow cone face.
But
okay.
either way, the snow cone mask, okay?
Right. Well, there's some uses.
If one being that you would never buy this.
Okay.
10 being that you would buy multiple because it's so incredible. Okay.
Okay.
The max of 2.
Max.
Where would you rank this? Honestly.
I mean, I get the purpose, and being from Minnesota where it does get very cold and can snow a lot, it is annoying to walk through that. I give that bad boy like 4.
A 4. Wow. A 5 is like you would buy one.
Yeah,
a 4 is like you would think about it and then you'd remove it from your cart.
Yeah, see, I'd
So you'd
mull it over.
You would actually add that to your Amazon cart.
Yeah, snow cone face.
And then you'd say, you know what? I don't need it.
First of all, I'm all about a fashion statement. You know? That'll get me noticed. That will get me a meet cute, maybe. Someone would be like, wait, who's that girl with the snow cone face?
You know what?
Gotta
I
talk
think
to
we
her.
should try to bring these back.
Maybe we should.
The patent is clearly over.
Do you think we can get on Shark Tank for this?
Maybe.
Everyone send us funding. We need to make snow cone faces immediately.
Yes. I think we should do this. And then to add to it, you know how like the Crocs have like those little stupid things you add
like
to
the
them?
stickers and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know how many people buy those. I don't know how many people buy Crocs, but I know that they actually sell.
Yeah, right, they do.
Now, if I showed you a Croc in 100 years from now, you would be like, who would wear that shit? Holy shoes. That's what they're called. Holy shoes.
So we could sell like bedazzles for those. You know
Right,
what else we
or
could
stickers.
do? We could get like an opening for, since we're going to make a cult, and for Cheetos and milk to come right through.
The C&M cult.
Yeah, you just fill that bad boy with Cheetos and milk, and then you just keep like lifting your head up and having some.
Multi-use.
Yeah, why not?
Multi-use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
In
protect
the winter,
my face and I eat
protects
breakfast.
your face.
Right.
In the summer, good for Cheetos and milk.
Yeah.
I
Just
didn't
pour
think
some
about
kind of.
that. That's smart.
Yeah.
you
Also,
see
side
that?
note: do you think cereal is just like cold soup?
No.
Oh.
Cereal is delicious.
No, but it's
Cold
kinda,
soup
it's,
is nasty.
No, but it's like cold soup if you think about it.
Do you eat soup in the morning for breakfast?
Porridge.
You notice how this person's smiling?
Yeah.
That one's not.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's you and me.
I just thought that was interesting. That someone is actually happy to wear it.
She invented it.
Anyway, so yeah,
Wow,
the snow
okay.
cone face. You give it a 4.
Yeah. What are you giving it?
I give it a 3.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't wait to see.
A 3 is I'd look at it and say, why would someone invent that? That's stupid.
Yeah.
And then I'd move on. I want to add it to my cart.
I feel like that would be more of a 1.
No,
Because all you're doing is judging it.
A 1 is like, that is ridiculous, and honestly, they should kill the person who invented it. A 2 is, that is ridiculous. This thing drives people insane. It's a terrible invention, and it's specifically, number 2 specifically made for the Mac. So, it's bad.
Well, I can't wait to hear what the next one is.
Huh?
I can't wait to see what.
Oh, the next one's great.
I can't wait.
The next one sold.
Really?
Next one actually was somewhat
Little
popular.
teaser there. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
But would I call it a terrible invention? Like this one is a terrible invention? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, let's get into this movie.
Oh,
yes. Tell the viewers, what did we watch?
It's called Your Place or Mine.
Mm-hmm. A Netflix
we told
original.
you all it was coming, so you should have watched it. Done your homework.
Don't yell at our viewers, David.
Sorry.
Yeah. So do you want me to start telling what it's about?
Yes, please. You go for it.
Okay. So the premise of this movie is these two best friends 20 years prior. They had hooked up one time, and then they ended up not having a relationship of the romantic kind, but they are best friends. So it's Debbie and Peter. Peter is a successful businessman out in New York, and Debbie is in California. She has a son, and they talk every single day. They're supposed to be seriously the very best of friends, but they never dated outside of that one night hookup. And so now Debbie, her son is a little bit older, and she wants to get this certification. So she wants to go to New York for 1 week to attend these classes, which, by the way, I feel like she only went to like one class. Like, it didn't really get into that, but whatever. So this 1 week thing, but she almost canceled the trip because the sitter, the 13-year-old needed a sitter, and the sitter had to cancel because she was like a actress or whatever, and she got like a small part somewhere. Anyway, so they end up switching houses for a week. He goes to take care of the son. She goes out to New York, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, she's like, oh, life's falling apart. I really needed to go do this. He's like, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And they hadn't seen each other since like forever. He moved away from California a long time ago. Claimed it was because of earthquakes.
Right.
Moves away, hasn't seen her, but they do FaceTime a lot, or whatever they do. Like they
talk every single day, and yeah, they FaceTime on the phone.
Right.
So it opens up where you almost think that they're talking.
Guy.
Yeah.
He's like, you can come stay in my apartment. Mm-hmm. It's a small place. Yeah. Doesn't have a lot.
Right.
No, but I mean, and then she, of course, is a single mom who is a good person trying to make it. He's
and do better for her son.
Some high rise. Got lots of money.
Yeah, he's like a consultant.
Can't keep a relationship longer than 6 months.
Right. So he has like some commitment issues, but you find out later on really why.
I don't know why the 6 months though. I don't know if that's just always been like enough time, and he's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, and
they never explained that, did they?
The girlfriend that he breaks up with in the beginning, it kind of hints at the fact that like Debbie, I think probably all girls that date him know that he's in love with his best friend.
Oh, maybe.
You know? Yeah. So it's kind of like, well, I'll never,
right, because he probably talks about him or something.
Right. I mean, it was...
They don't show that, but you could assume
right,
that.
Exactly. So, David, what do you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10 before we get into it?
Okay, so I'm going to... on a scale from 1 to 10, I give it a 2.
David...
Okay, and I'll tell you why. What do you give it?
I gave this one like a 5.
Okay.
5 or 6.
This movie could have been a 6 or 7 if they took Ashton Kutcher out of it.
What are you talking about?
Okay. They could have had the movie based around Reese Witherspoon going to New York, and Ashton Kutcher can have a small role where he's just like, yeah, I'll watch the kid. And then like he just shows up maybe like here and there occasionally, but not like
be in love with her or whatever.
Nothing
just
substantial. Right. And have her go and meet that guy who's also an editor or whatever of the book place, who in my opinion had much better connection with.
Oh yeah, chemistry-wise, you're right.
So much more in common.
Yeah, and plus that man is fine as hell, Jesse Williams.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Do you look these people up and then
just...
Facebook stalk them? Is that what you do?
First of all, you can't Facebook stalk celebrities, David.
Oh, you know that. I didn't know that. You tried, but anyway, so there was much more of a connection there, and her side. Okay, let me just say that right now. This is the modern day story of Tale of Two Cities. Okay, it was the worst of times. It was the best of times. Okay, but it's a little twist in it, right? Because it was the worst of the movie, and then there was the best of the movie. Okay. The worst of the movie was when they flashed over to Ashton Kutcher's part. The best of the movie is when they moved over back to Reese Witherspoon, where there was good acting and actually activities occurring that matter and move the story forward. Then you go back to the worst of times with Ashton Kutcher, where he is blank faced. Like, I felt like Ashton Kutcher, I don't know if he ever knew how to act, but like he clearly learned that or forgot how to act at this movie.
You thought his acting was that bad?
It was terrible because he was so boring. He was so vanilla, like throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like everything.
You're like, give me some spice,
when
Ashton.
He talked, his voice was like deep, and he was just like, there's nothing funny about him. Nothing funny occurred on his side. The whole thing was just him taking care of this kid and trying to do things that his mom didn't want him to do.
Right, and like bonding, you know.
But there was nothing fun about it. It was the boringest part. Let me just put it in the terms of this. It was so boring. They had to put a comedic relief in on his side.
Oh, that girl, the teacher.
With the teacher and the neighbor.
Oh, yeah. Steve Zahn plays
because
the
they're like,
neighbor's
Ashton Kutcher's not funny otherwise. So we need to do this. So there was he wasn't funny at all. Like, the movie was not good at all on his end. There was no romance in this movie. I can't even call this a rom-com because the two of them aren't together throughout the whole movie.
That part was a little odd. At first I thought the premise was like kind of cool, but then it was like, yeah, where's the chemistry between them, because they're apart like the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, it's like Tale of Two Cities, okay? Worst of times, best of times. Every time I watched it and they'd switch back to Ashton Kutcher's part, I was just like, can we just skip back to Reese Witherspoon?
Is it just because you love Reese Witherspoon?
No, it was just like, okay, Reese Witherspoon, what does she have going for her on her side, right? Activities. She's going places. She's seeing things. She meets Ashton Kutcher's ex, who is a little over the top, but either way,
and honestly,
somewhat fun.
What was kind of weird too about that side character is like, do you not have anything else going on? Because she was just constantly hanging around Reese Witherspoon. It's like,
she had nothing going on.
You drop everything to just like kind of support this woman that you don't even know.
Right, I know.
She just like inserted herself there.
Yeah,
it was a little bit weird. I mean, I didn't mind her character, but it was a little weird.
That's very true. Like, I didn't even approach it like that, but you're right. Like, her character, it's like, do you have a job? Right. But and then on top of that, like, Reese, like, you know, she goes to her class. You could tell, like, she's doing things, like she runs into his book and tries to publish his book. She goes and meets new people and does new things and like explores a city that she hasn't seen really, right?
Yeah.
Ashton, New York, sitting on the couch, you know, eating lunch with her son.
Yeah, in California.
Like, and then he's like terrible at ideas. Like, how do we make friends? Let's buy them. Okay, this is how I make friends.
The son was kind of bullied, so he was trying to figure out ways.
He wasn't bullied. He was ignored.
Right. Okay.
Okay, they weren't mean to him.
Right.
They just ignored his existence,
right.
Because the son used to play hockey. Mom got worried about hockey.
Yeah.
Said,
getting
like,
hurt.
I don't want you playing because I don't want you to get hurt.
Right.
So his friend from before, when they used to play hockey together, decided, you're not my friend anymore. I have a new friend, and he plays hockey with me. Yeah. Right? So the son's like, oh, I miss my friend. And Ashton's like, oh, let me help you out.
Yeah.
I'll go buy some Kings tickets. You can invite them, and you'll be friends again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not how you make friends.
Right, but he realized that, though, too.
Right. He's like, oh, wait, this didn't work. I can't buy friends. So what do we do then? Oh,
well,
I'm going to have you join the hockey team so you can become friends with them again.
Yeah.
And what happened? The two guys became friends with him because he joined the hockey team and played hockey.
Yeah.
All that teaches you is those aren't real friends.
Yeah.
Those are friends with contingencies. Right? Like, those are the biggest two asshole kids on the face of the earth is what they are. We don't want to give you any attention, even though you brought us to a Kings game. Yeah. We're not going to talk to you. We're going to treat you like you don't exist, even though you brought us to it. You spent all this money, bring us out. But you join the hockey team, and all of a sudden, you know what? We'll be friends with you again because you joined our cult. I mean, what the hell?
You're really pissed at these kids.
I am. I think that movie that teaches, don't let your kids watch this movie. Okay? Teaches you that you can't make friends.
Yeah, that'll be the takeaway.
You can't make friends unless you conform to what they want you to conform to.
Sure, right.
I mean, isn't it true? Like, seriously, what a terrible part of that movie.
Yeah,
and Ashton Kutcher the whole way is rooting them all like, yeah, I'm going to get you them friends. We're not going to listen to your mom. Yeah. Anyway, more of the story, like I said, real friends ignore you and treat you like shit till you join their hockey team and get a concussion. I wrote that down. That's real friends.
I never really thought that much into it when I was watching.
Oh, I was mad at that part.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
And then
because when he said he's not my friend anymore, it would have been better if like he made new friends.
sure.
And then the old friend who treated him like garbage after he's no longer playing hockey realized his mistake and was like, you know what? I shouldn't have left. He was a good friend.
But you do realize that that was not the purpose of this movie. That's not the relationship you were supposed to focus on. The relationship you were supposed to focus on in this movie was that of Debbie and Peter, Ashton and Reese.
That's the problem with the movie, though, right? The movie is not about them. It's about Debbie.
Yeah.
It's about Debbie trying to further herself
Right.
and do better for her kid.
Yeah.
But she's held back because she's a single mom who has a husband who apparently is not existent. Like he's always out doing his own thing, doesn't care.
He ran off.
A friend who's willing to help her out. And then her meeting someone who she clearly hit it off with. He clearly liked her.
Yeah, he did.
Helped hook her up with an editing job.
Right.
Was going to help, was really helping her. What did Ashton do for the last 20 years?
Publish the book that she found out that Ashton had written.
Yeah.
Right.
What did Ashton do for the last 20 years watch the kid once for a few days while she could go take some classes? Thanks, Ashton. I want to go back to Ashton. I don't need the guy who just hooked me up with the job, took me out on a nice dinner. We walked around New York, made me feel great. No, I'm in love with someone else.
Well, you can't help who you love. And she was in love with him. She always loved him. And the big thing, too, is he always said he never kept mementos, like anything that meant anything.
Who cares about the stupid
personal.
poker chip and all the other crap she found? Look.
She found this envelope of things that he had kept about their relationship. So she then realized, like, oh, my God, he's in love with me, too.
The movie, when it comes to their relationship, was 10 minutes of the whole thing. It was them talking in the beginning about his birthday.
Yeah.
And then them meeting each other at the airport at the end after she finds his bag full of goodies that he kept of her. And that was it. That was the whole romance of their entire relationship. Other than that, they hung out and played poker one time and slept together. That's all it takes to get Reese. Just need to play a little poker and let her win.
I mean, they talked about the different times that they would meet up throughout the year, too, and, like, hang out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they talked every single day. She always had those feelings for him. He always had the feelings for her. That's why he left California.
She should not have gone to Ashton.
She
should have stuck with the other guy.
Honestly, if I was in her position, I would have, too, but it's only because I find Jesse Williams more attractive.
And Ashton Kutcher, they don't even have any similarities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do think that they must have not done a chemistry read together because honestly, they didn't have a lot of
There
chemistry.
was no chemistry, but Ashton Kutcher's character was dry. He was so dry. Honestly, you could have just had like a mannequin take his place and a voiceover. This could have been Mannequin 3. Okay? Could have been 80s movies. You ever seen Mannequin?
No, never heard of it.
Oh yeah, guy falls in love with a mannequin and she turns into a woman.
What? That sounds like a fever dream. Are you sure that's not just a dream that you had?
Does not teach kids properly when you're in clothing stores. Let's just say
how many mannequin girlfriends do you have?
To have one come to life. But either way,
why
you get
is
what
that
I'm
guy
saying.
making out with that mannequin over there?
But you get,
sir, this is an H&M. We need you to leave.
She came to life. He made out with her, and boom, she's alive. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, terrible movie.
You know what was when I was watching it, though?
Reese.
I was like, man, that I don't have anyone in my life who that could potentially happen with. But it was like, how beautiful, though, to then find out that one of your very best friends that you've also been in love with for years has this bag of mementos from your relationship that he always kept because he secretly was in love with you, too.
They should have called this movie a waste of time. Okay.
They should have called this place Your Place or Mine. Neither.
Right. Because also, when you say your place or mine, that means like you're trying to decide, are you going to come to my place or am I coming to your place?
Oh, is that what that means?
Well, then why is it called your place or mine, though? They didn't decide who's going where. They just were like, yeah, you're coming to my place. I'm going to yours. It's not like we're going together. Your place or mine sounds like they're going together.
Well, and honestly, too, the kid was like 13 or 14. Who needs a babysitter for that long?
Well,
when I was 13 or 14, I would have.
She's not in the same state, though, so I kind of get that.
I know, but they had friends and stuff around. Like if there was like a real serious thing.
I mean, she's not even like
at 14. I would have definitely been.
Country.
But at like 14, I would have been like self-sufficient enough.
I mean, if she would have put enough TV dinners in, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my son's 14. He can take care of himself for the most part. I just had to buy the food for him.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That would've been,
if
like,
I was
ultimate
leaving the
vacation.
state and I was a single dad and I was leaving the state, hell no, I'm not going to let him stay by himself.
Oh, sure.
What if he gets snatched? What if he doesn't answer his phone just for one time?
Yeah.
You know all the things that are going to go through my head?
That's true.
Yeah, no, not cool. But
what did you think of all of our Post-it notes all throughout the house for him?
I think that makes sense, right? Because he doesn't know how to be a person. Like he literally is just like, I don't know what he is. His whole character there's no detail to like type of personality he is. Mm-hmm. He's just dry. He you don't even know what he does for a living till like later.
No, he talks about being a consultant like right away.
A consultant in what?
He takes people.
He tells people how to live their life.
No, he goes in like companies and he sees the issues and then he tells them how to fix it and make it better.
Oh, is that
and
what
be
he
more
was?
profitable.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah, that's what he was
Probably
telling the kid
through the boring speeches he talks. Whenever he talked, all I could think of was like this guy. He's just so dry, so dry. No, there's no like character in him. No
pizzazz.
No pizzazz. No.
Did you like Steve Zahn's character?
No life.
The neighbor.
Yeah,
I liked him.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, he is. He was so funny.
Yeah, he was fun.
Yeah.
And
his name was Zen.
He was a good character.
Yeah.
The teacher friend was okay.
Yeah.
She had little one-liners.
I kind of liked her dry humor and stuff.
Right.
And then he was like Ashton. They became friends, and then that's who he confided in about actually why he really truly left California, and it was because Debbie started dating someone else.
Right.
And he couldn't stand to watch it. Which honestly, I mean, come on, David, you have to admit, like that's kind of beautiful.
Oh my God.
No, I said you have to admit it, so that means you have.
No, there's nothing. The movie was bad. Bad movie. Your Place or Mine, terrible. I give it a 2. If Ashton Kutcher's role was minimal and it was just about Reese meeting someone new, going to a new city, all the things she's trying to accomplish as a single mom, I would have gave it a much higher rating. Yeah. She was good. Yeah. Her part was fun.
I do love a Reese Witherspoon movie. Like Sweet Home Alabama when he
yes,
says
that's not bad.
He wants to marry her so he can kiss her many times and he won't. Like that's the most.
I don't remember that part, but it was a long time since I've seen that. But either way, I like Reese Witherspoon. I think she's a good actress. Ashton Kutcher, if this was his comeback, just fucking stay home. Just stay home, Ashton. Like I think the only movie I've ever seen him do is Dude, Where's My Car? And he plays like a freaking idiot. Yeah. He does a good job with the idiot role.
Have you actually ever watched a romantic comedy that you liked?
What? We did one earlier in the first season.
Oh, but
I told you wasn't bad. That Tiffany's one.
Yeah, but have you ever actually walked away from a rom-com and you're like, you know what? That was nice.
I don't think so.
That's because you're a murderer of love. You don't love love. You are against love.
I'm not against love.
You are.
I just think that if people put more time in these scripts, they can actually make a decent romantic comedy.
No, but the thing is, like, if you made a romantic comedy, it would be like there wouldn't really be a lot of romance in it.
Oh, you've heard one of my stories, and you know it's gonna be a freak. It would be a really good movie.
Okay.
I just need to put it on paper.
It's like a tragedy, though, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I do. That is true. You have a tiny romantic bone in your body. It's somewhere in there. It's really minuscule.
I think but
it's there.
I think that people who are least romantic in the real world probably are better at writing it.
Well, then
I bet you Nicholas Sparks probably freaking total not romantic at all. Bet she just sits on the couch.
He isn't married anymore. Yeah, they got divorced.
Oh, really?
I think a couple years ago.
Must have been all those great books he wrote. Maybe should have read some of them.
She probably read some and she was like,
why doesn't he do this for me?
Yeah.
Where's
Clearly you can come up with the idea.
Right. Yeah. Why am I not a bird? If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
See, then what I should find is if when I go dating, then if someone is saying like, oh, I'm a writer and this is kind of the story I would write, then I wouldn't want to be with him because he wouldn't be romantic with me in real life. But if someone's not good at coming up with it, like writing a story, then I want to be with them because they will be romantic.
It doesn't necessarily mean they'll be romantic. It just means that the one way, but maybe not necessarily the other way. Oh. They could just be not romantic at all.
Maybe I should put together a questionnaire before I go out with anybody.
Well, that's what that thing you read that one time, that like the 15 questions. Like, give me one of your dreams, and what did it make you feel like?
That's true. And one actually, going back to the Duggar thing too, in order to court, and I knew a couple families that did this too. If a man had expressed interest with the parents about the daughter, they did have to fill out a questionnaire.
Oh.
It was
Wow.
like really detailed about like your financial situation.
What are you going to do in life?
Like your credit score, like all that kind of stuff too.
Really?
Yeah, before they grant permission.
Wow.
How would you feel if, you have a daughter one day, if the guy comes, like, would you want them to come to you and say, hey, I have interest in your daughter. Could I date her? Or would you be like, that's really fucking weird. Ask my daughter.
No, if someone came to me and said, I have interest in your daughter, can I date her?
Yeah.
I would not look at that as a weird thing.
No, you would like it. You'd like it.
I mean, there'd be nothing wrong with saying that and asking me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you just get to date her.
Right.
Like, that's great. Like, I'll give you permission, sure, whatever you want. But, you got to get her permission.
Right.
Right. It's not like I'm going to make that decision for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you the kind of dad that you would want to be asked for your daughter's hand in marriage? Like, if someone to ask you that? Are you traditional in that sense?
I don't know.
Oh.
You have to ask me if the day comes and how I feel if it did or didn't happen. You know what I mean? Because
sure.
if it didn't happen, am I gonna feel it inside? Like, I can't believe he didn't ask me.
Yeah.
Or if he did ask me, am I gonna be like, that was just so awkward and strange?
Yeah. Did you go the traditional route? Like, did you ask Holly's parents?
I did because
you did?
And they're a little bit more on the conservative side, so I figured maybe he'd like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was always against the idea. I don't want anyone asking anybody.
I mean, I think it's
kind of like the idea of a wedding day being given away. I don't want anyone to give me away.
I mean, obviously, if he said no, it wouldn't have stopped me.
Oh.
You know what I mean? If he would be like, no, hell no, I'd hate your guts. I would be like, well, fuck you. I'm still asking her. And then I'm going to tell her that you said this shit. So this is unbelievable.
I guess we'll mark you down for the RSVP as a not attending.
You're not invited. Yeah. I mean, seriously. But he was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, I just think the feminist in me is like, nah, I don't want to be given away and don't ask for my permission.
Well, given away is in the wedding. That's just like a special father-daughter moment. It's not about like ownership.
No, it sounds like ownership to me.
But it's
like, and then he asks like, who gives this?
That's just
girl?
The religious part, though.
I know, but I'm like,
you don't have to do that. You can like when we got married. I'm not like super religious, right?
Yeah.
When we got married, we had a pastor, I think, or a minister. I can't remember what the title goes with them. But either way, he knew that I wasn't very religious. My wife is on the Christian side, so he went through things and asked, what don't I want in there? And he's obviously
right.
Jesus Christ, whatever.
Yeah.
So like I was like thinking to myself, that's really nice of him to actually offer that and not be offended when I say, I don't want you to say these certain things.
Sure.
So he cut some stuff out. There's some stuff I left in that was religious-y, and I didn't care. I don't really care, honestly.
Yeah.
Because to me, it doesn't matter to me. But, I didn't want to, Holly, it mattered a little bit, I think, to Holly. I'm not 100% sure.
There are some traditional things that I would want, but I just feel like even in the vows when, like, the wife said something about honoring and obeying her husband.
Yeah, I think,
Write that out.
I made sure that was it. I say keep all this stuff in there about me being in charge.
And add something about I want a sandwich made every single night for me.
And multiple wives is okay. And if we get divorced, I get everything. He's like, sir, we never bring up divorce in there. I don't care. Just put it in there.
She'll be fine with it. Yeah, no, that's not for me. Okay, so next week we're going to watch a movie called Renfield, which just sounds like a really weird name.
It's about the assistant to Dracula.
Yeah. Why do you say it like that?
Because that's how you say Dracula.
Did you pick this movie because your favorite cereal is Count Chocula?
No. Why would I do that?
Are you going to eat that while you watch it?
I will. No.
Great. All right, so if you don't want that ruined for you, everyone go ahead and watch Renfield. It's on Peacock. It's not a Peacock, but it's on Peacock, the streaming service.
That's right.
Or I'm sure you can rent it probably on Amazon too. I don't know. Figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Peacock it is.
Right. And we're always looking for movie recommendations. So if you're watching on YouTube, go down into the comments and tell us a movie that you want to see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're not watching on YouTube, get on YouTube and hit subscribe so you never miss our episodes.
Yeah. We're going to open the door up here. If you all want to recommend a movie.
Yeah. Put it out there.
We'll give you our, but don't do something that's like incredibly good. Okay. I don't want to be like, I liked it. Did you like it? Great. Tune in next week.
David loves picking things apart.
Yeah. Like, is there a shitty movie you saw recently? shoot it in the comments.
David's
Let's go check
into
it
roasting. Whether it's
out. Give us some ideas.
Whether it's a marshmallow, a weenie, or a movie, he's all about roasting.
What? Anyway.
You've been listening to You're Making This Difficult. I'm Beck.
I'm Dave.
Tune in next week.
This is Dave.
And this is Beck.
From the Dave and Beck Show.
Beck and Dave.
You're Making This Difficult.
Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode. Make sure that you don't miss a beat and follow us on all social medias.
Yes, please. That's Instagram, Twitter,
YouTube.
The YouTube.
You don't have to say the, Dave.
Subscribe. And please subscribe. Yes. I was going to say that. That was my line. But thanks. Thanks for chipping in a little there, Becca.
God, you make this difficult. Subscribe.